Hey, what's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel here. And today's gonna be first of all, I'm gonna be drawing a Voltorb. So as you can see, it's the 100th Pokemon, so I only got 51 days left. This I just sketched it real quick. This is actually, as you can tell, probably a pretty quick drawing. So I only sped up this video by I want to say I only sped it up by like 25%. But yeah, it was a pretty easy draw, honestly. It wasn't too bad. Um but yeah, I just kind of wanted to get on here and kind of rant a little bit because these last couple of days for me have been pretty bad. But before I get into that though, let's see. Voltorb, let's see. It rose to move. Um I don't know why it has legs. It should move just by walking. But to each their own. If the ground is uneven, a sudden jolt from hitting a bump can cause it to explode. Oh, yeah, I wonder why it exploded in all those Pokemon episodes. Height is 1 foot 8 inches. Weight is 22 pounds. No known gender. And category ball. That's funny. But yeah, so that's all about Voltorb, Anyways, yeah, I kind of want to talk about just the last couple of days that I've had, because these last couple of days have been pretty bad. Like I said, they've been. I'm gonna tell you what happened. So right now my job is I'm an Uber driver, right? And with Uber driving, I don't currently have my own car, so I do a rental car. So Uber has this program where you can rent cars from different companies. In this case, I'm doing mine from Avis slash budget car. But yeah, anyways, I've had a few different cars from them over the last like year and a half that I've been doing the rental and trying to save in order to get my own car or whatever. But it's been difficult, because it is expensive to rent. So you got to make sure that you're on point every day. When I'm on point, I'm great, but when I'm not on point, I'm doing, it's not so great. But anyways, yeah. So what's been happening is that I haven't been working as much and as hard as I needed to have been, and I've been falling behind on a lot of payments and all that over these last few weeks, and for my car rental. But thankfully, I have a guy. He's so damn nice. Like, he's awesome. But he allows me to still pay late and not have late fees or whatever. But anyways, it was usually I'm able to pay it by, because usually the payment is due by Friday at the end of each week. But most of the time he allows me to pay on Monday, which is awesome because I get the whole weekend to make money, and then on Monday I pay him. But so yeah, so yesterday was Wednesday. Today's Thursday, and on Wednesday we had a real bad storm here. So I was driving and I didn't expect this. This came out of nowhere. It only lasted for like 10-15 minutes, but it was bad. Like, there was so much rain and there was some golf ball size hail, and it was real bad. Like, the wind was blowing. It was like up to, I think, like over 100 miles an hour. It felt like a damn tornado was coming, but thankfully that didn't happen. So as you can tell, I live in the South. But yeah, so I'm here, and then actually, I guess I can kind of tell you where I live. So I live in Austin, right? Austin, Texas, the 11th most populous city. And there's a street called West Anderson Lane. Is it West Anderson Lane? Yeah, West Anderson Lane. Anyways, it's an older street, and yeah. So I was down there, and I was driving. I was about to go pick up an order for DoorDash because I was doing a little bit of DoorDash. And the storm just came out of nowhere, and it was bad. Like, it was real bad. So I couldn't see, even a few feet in front of me, and thankfully I got to pull over into a parking lot, and I sat there with a whole bunch of people in their cars, and it was just pounding away. And yeah, I was just chilling. Everything was pretty good. But yeah. So the what ended up happening. I'm gonna tell the truth here. So what ended up happening was that after the storm, it was lightening up, and I finally drove off, and then I went somewhere, I forget. I was trying to get past this flooded area of this road, because this whole road was flooded, and I'm in a sedan, so I'm not in an SUV, so it's not lifted, and I didn't want the car to get stuck, because there was some water that, man, I really thought I was gonna get stuck. Like, really, like the water was going all the way up to like past the tires of the car. Like, it was bad, like, because there was a lot of water. It felt like I said, it was like tsunami or hurricane or tornado or something. It was bad. So driving through this water, this polluted ass water, hoping that the car wouldn't stop or get floated away or whatever. And I ended up going into an apartment complex is what happened. And at this apartment complex, it was also flooded. It was an older apartment complex, and I ended up having to reverse because the water was too deep at a certain part of the apartment complex. So I reversed, and in this particular car that I got, it has a rear view camera, but the rear view camera, for some reason, it's all fogged up on the inside of the lens. I've been trying to figure out how to clean it out, but I can't get into the lens to clean it out. So anyways, I was reversing. I was checking my rearview mirrors, making sure no cars were behind me or whatever. I was trying to like back into like a parking spot and then go forward so I can, leave the apartment complex. Well, come to find out, on the left-hand side of the car, there was a parked car there, and I ended up hitting it on the driver's side, left side. So I ended up denting the hell out of this car, and I didn't find out until like how bad the damage was until I ended up just driving away after I hit the parked car, because the storm was still going. I was scared, and I ended up just driving away. So yeah, it was bad, and yeah, I make that mistake, and not my proudest moment at all. But yeah, so it was just a lot. It was a lot of things that happened there. A lot of things that happened yesterday. So I was unable to pay my weekly car rental. Hit a vehicle, almost got stuck, and almost lost the vehicle altogether. Thankfully, now I was able to pay it and all that after doing DoorDash for a little while. But yeah, it was a pretty bad day yesterday. But and I'm not gonna lie, like, I'm not an emotional person at all, or I shouldn't say at all, but I'm not that much of an emotional person. At least I don't think I am. Maybe I am. I just don't know it. That's what all unemotional people say, or super emotional people say. Anyways, yeah. So I almost like pulled over into the parking lot and started crying, just because it was like I just felt so bad about that day, because there was so much I did wrong. Yeah, yesterday on Wednesday, and yeah, it just all got me just teary-eyed, and thankfully I held my composure though. I just kind of let it be, and I try to stay as level-headed as possible. So I was able to get through it, and with me being level-headed, I was able to get through the day and make the payment today on Thursday for the rental car. So now I'm able to make money again like I normally do. But yeah, it's just been, these last couple of days have just been crazy. So today I'm just gonna do, thankfully, like I said, the guy that I know, the car rental guy, he I explained to him what happened, and he said that we'll exchange it once he gets a vehicle. He doesn't have another vehicle right now, so but once he gets a new one, we'll go ahead and get it exchanged. But also for this car, like some weeks ago, I was driving to like San Antonio, Texas in an Uber. I was driving somebody to San Antonio, Texas, and I don't even know if it was a gravel truck or not, but it was some kind of truck, and a freaking rock went off of it and hit the windshield of the vehicle and ended up leaving a crack in the damn windshield. And I was like, what the hell? Like that was the first thing that happened to this car that I was like, what the hell? And then the storm happened, and then I back into, so it's just been hell, man. Like it really has. Like just with this rental vehicle, I was just like, man, like I've never felt so bad. Like, I haven't felt so like rock bottom in a long time. Even though I'm living in this rental car, like I don't feel I don't feel bad about it. I'm living life, and I'm somewhat thriving, and well, I'm surviving right now. I'm not really thriving, but I'm surviving, and getting through the day to day. But yeah, just these last couple of days have just been crazy. I'm gonna keep saying that, but yeah, it's been real bad. So emotionally, it put me in a bad spot. Mentally, I was in a bad spot, and then yeah, I was frustrated. I was angry. I was sad. I was just emotional. My emotions were all over the place. So, but today's another day. Today's Thursday. I'm gonna forget about yesterday. I'm gonna continue to try to continue to thrive and try to survive and all that. But yeah, I just want to get on here and rant about these last couple of days because they haven't been the best days. But something I have realized though is for the in terms of all the things that happen in life, no matter what they are, even if they're a bad couple of days, a couple of years, few years, or whatever. I think one of the most important things. Sorry, I'm going to start this car back up. So sorry if you hear the ignition of me starting. I'm in the car right now. So, but yeah, so I think one of the most important things that I've put together when it came to all of this stuff is just keeping a good mindset. I think having a good mindset about, no matter how bad things are, no matter how bad things get, just keeping a great mindset and making sure that I know that, it's okay. Everything's going to be okay. Everything's going to work out. And as long as I keep pushing, things are going to get better. But if I quit, if I just stop doing everything and I allow myself to get down and, don't get me wrong, having a moment to be down is perfectly fine. I think like having a moment to be emotional and all that, to, be frustrated, be mad, be upset, whatever you need to do, I think that's perfectly fine. I should say you can't allow that to go from day to day to day to day, for it to just continue and for you to have that mindset all the time. Because what'll end up happening, or for me at least, what'll happen is that I'll start getting real depressed. I'll end up, start having like negative self-talk and self-deprecation, and for me, it's not a good way for me to live, from day to day. So yeah, so I try not to dwell on it. I acknowledge it, I accept it, and I continue on my journey of life. So I think that's what I need to do, in this case. I got to keep telling myself to keep trying to continue, not allow life's environment or life's, what was the word I was looking for? I don't know words. So yeah, but just not allowing life to dictate how you feel. No matter how bad things are, no matter what happens to you, it's life. Everybody goes through it. And I think that the more that you're able to stay focused on what you're trying to do and actually try to, keep a good mindset, I think the more that you'll be able to accomplish. So yeah, so that's just kind of my little rant. It's only a few minutes left in this video. I just wanted to kind of get that off my chest because yeah, I've just been frustrated these last couple of days and a little sad, a little mad, little bit of everything, honestly. And I've been trying to deal with all that stuff. So yeah, a lot of it's self-inflicted, as you could probably tell. But yeah, isn't a lot of pain just self-inflicted. So I don't think that's new for me or new for an individual to have self-inflicted pain. Yeah. What I should have just pulled over and just waited because honestly, after about an hour or two, like everything started to drain. The water started to drain from where I was at with the car, and everything was good after that. Honestly, like everything was pretty great. After the storm happened, but yeah, I just had to drive for some reason, like a big dummy. So yeah, I got to deal with that now. But hopefully, whenever I pick people up, I'm pretty sure they'll see the big old dent in the back left of this car. And I felt bad for picking people up in a beat up car because it's not exactly the best look, for them. But right now, it is what it is. I got to deal with it, and hopefully, I'll be able to get a new car soon with the exchange. Maybe I'll update you all on the story. I try to say you all and y'all at the same time. Y'all is what I said. Y'all. I'll update y'all. That's funny. So yeah, life is wonderful. I'm not being sarcastic when I say that either, because every day I wake up, I'm very grateful for waking up, because I could not be awake, and things can always be worse, right? That's what I try to tell myself. No matter how bad things are, things can always be worse. So yeah, just some words to hopefully try to live by. Not only for you, but for myself. I'm telling myself this, by the way, too. It's kind of my diary where I'm just venting about what happened. So yeah, but it should be interesting. Weekend here coming up. Gonna be recording all these videos for next week. Like I said, right now it's Thursday, so I got all these weeks videos lined up. I do 5 videos a week, which is hard as hell, but I think the hard work will pay off in the years to come in the future. But for right now, it's not really paying off all that much, which I don't expect it to. I've only been doing it for a couple of weeks now. But yeah, that's the end of this video. I have finished the drawing, and other than that, I'll talk to y'all in the next one.